Signed, sincerely, Kenneth E. Benson, Jr., Member of Congress.
Without objection, the House stands adjourned until 11 a.m. on Thursday, November 7th.
Now, live coverage of a news conference with Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura. This is just getting underway.
Seems to have been forgotten or just simply ignored by Democrats, by Republicans, and by you, the media. Today, I am making an appointment to the United States Senate to fill the vacant seat of Senator Paul Wellstone. And you can be assured, I have not forgotten. My appointee is as qualified to serve the people of Minnesota as any Democrat or Republican. In fact, if you consider life experiences outside of government and politics, my appointee may be better qualified than either of those two major, quote, major party candidates. But I guess the term major party doesn't apply anymore, does it? Because when you earn it, the bar gets changed every week. Doesn't matter. My appointee is a person of the highest integrity, has a keen sense of what is in the best interest of ordinary Minnesotans, and will put the people's interest before the party's interest. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the interim United States Senator from Minnesota, Independence Party member Dean Barkley. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank Governor Ventura for the confidence that you've shown in my ability to go to Washington to the remaining term of Senator Wellstone and do the people's business for the state of Minnesota. I am very confident that I am up to the job. I'm going to go to Washington with one thing in mind: what can I do that's best for the state? And that's going to be my overriding weather vane for whatever actions I'm going to take while I'm, whether it's 2 weeks or whether it's 2 months, the U.S. Senator from Minnesota. So I haven't had time to prepare a speech. I was notified of this about an hour ago. So I'm going to quit babbling to you. I'm sure you've got lots of questions. I'll just go ahead and open it up if you have any questions for me.
Who do you caucus with in the Senate?
I have no idea right now. I plan on going to Washington hopefully yet this week and get my thoughts about me and start talking to the people in Washington, and I'll make up my mind once I hear what both sides have to say. Well, there's a conflict in the rules. I guess Senate rules in '84 said that I would serve the remaining of the term. There's a state law that says that upon the certification of the election, that new person would take over. So I would imagine some lawyers somewhere are going to have to determine how long I'm going to be there, how long I'm not going to be there. Well, I ran for it twice. I ran for it in 1994 and 1996. I had a strong desire to serve the state as a senator, and I guess this would be a dream come true of being able to serve for a short period of time and seeing what I could do to better the lives of people that live in the state. Oh, I don't think it'll go to my head. I think I've been through a lot of wars. I fully expect I know what's going to be coming at me. I'll go there. I'll give it my best shot. It's nice to be loved and wanted, but it won't go anywhere. And like I said, I'm just going to stay focused on one thing: what's good for this state. What can I do to better the people's lives in this state? And that's what I'm going to make my decisions upon. My immediate goals would be to familiarize myself with the 12 spending bills that have yet to be passed in the U.S. Senate. There's a lot of work. They haven't gotten much done. I'm going to be doing a lot of homework to figure out what's in those bills, what the differing versions are. I'm sure I'll be meeting with leadership of both caucuses and making some strong or some tough decisions in the next few weeks, assuming I'm going to be there to the end of Wellstone's term, of how I'm going to vote on those very strong issues. There's bioterrorism bills out there. There's the transportation funding, which is real important to me. I've got a strong interest in transportation funding. It'd be a nice opportunity if we could get some additional transportation funding back to the state of Minnesota. I've got some priorities as the governor. Those are one of the areas I'm going to take an interest in. But I've only been at this now for a couple of minutes, so Don't get too technical on me.
Yes, it is.
And can you tell us a little more about what made you change your mind? You had said before you were likely to wait until after your
Well, I felt very strongly since, major party status means nothing. I mean, every time we qualify as a major party, the bar gets raised higher and higher. We're cut out of the process. You, the media, are as big of a guilty party as anybody. You're as guilty as the Democrats and Republicans. As far as I'm concerned, you're in their back pocket. It clearly shows that to me. And so I just felt that it was, rather than worrying about any of that, I would make my decision, and did make it. And now it's over with. Do what? Well, I'm allowed to change my mind. Since you people have politicized it, since you people are out to destroy the third-party movement, you, the media, your participants in it, then I have to do anything and everything I can for what I believe is the third-party movement, and that the third-party movement should continue, and that it takes citizens like us to keep the fight up, because certainly we get no help from you, the media. No, it's an attempt to put the best man into the job, and I did it. I don't care what I said. I'm allowed to change my mind. I also said clearly, Mr. Ragsdale, I would leave all options open, didn't I? Have I not done that? I've said that I would leave all my options open. All my options were open. I've made a decision. Good. Because I have the right to. No, he did not. No, I've always known he's had an interest. He did come highly recommended to me by other people that I consider them very highly in what they recommend to me. But no, did he directly? No.
Governor, you have an independent party candidate running for state. Why not appoint that person?
Because he's in the middle of a race. Or he's trying to be in the middle of a race, but you people won't let him. Over the weekend. No, it's because I made my decision. No, it was not. You'll never know why. Dean Barkley, that's correct. By the way, I'm not playing golf today either. I love it though. I'm right with Tiger Woods. We're the only two people that have our every round covered by the media. My opinion doesn't matter, but generally it flows downhill. Federal takes priority over state. So I'm moving ahead with the thought that he'll be in until at least January, because the rules of the Senate state that will follow their rules, and theirs usually take priority. Federal rules take priority over state rules generally. I give him no advice. I don't have to give Dean Barkley any advice. I know Dean Barkley well enough. I've known Dean Barkley long enough to know he's a man of complete integrity. He'll do what he feels right, and that's good enough for me. Let's remember something, too. I'm awful naive, too. I mean, I actually went to a memorial service thinking it would be a memorial, but I guess I was wrong. Aren't I naive? And I will say this also. Director Barkley's not talking now, I am. I will never, ever attend another funeral unless it's held in a church. No other political funeral will I ever attend again unless it's held in a church, where I think even they won't be able to politicize it. as long as it's held in a church. And so I want to be clear on that I will never, ever attend another one unless it's in a church. Do you find this funny, Mr. Groh? You're smiling. Do you find this humorous? No, they're not. Do you find this humorous, Mr. Groh? You're laughing and smiling. I'm just wondering if you do. You didn't answer my question, Mr. Groh. Do you find this humorous? At least you're not smiling and laughing now. Oh, I guess you're back at it again now.
If I had any apprehensions, I wouldn't have ran in 1994 and 1996. So obviously I don't have any apprehensions about taking this job. I look forward to the challenge. I look forward to doing whatever I can to better people in the state of Minnesota.
To answer my question, Senator, how are you going to weigh what you do, how you vote? Just give us a sense of how you think you're going to be able to sort all this out.
Eric, I think I already gave you that guiding light that I'm going to use is what can I do that will better the lives of the people that live in the state of Minnesota, whether that's transportation funding or it's other, that's what I'm going to use as my bellwether, what I can do to help the state of Minnesota. That's what a U.S. Senator is supposed to do. He's supposed to go to Washington, represent the people of the state of Minnesota, represent their best interests, and get whatever they can for the state in a very competitive process, and that's what I plan on doing. Whether that means I caucus by myself in a bathroom, whether I caucus I go to Senator Jeffords and say maybe we should have a two-person caucus, what can we do there, or I go with the Democrats or Republicans. Time will tell. I don't really care which party controls the U.S. Senate right now. I could care less whether it's Democrats or Republicans. What I care about is what I can do for the state of Minnesota, and I will use my position the best I can to forward that principle.
Do you expect to use Senator Wilson on staff? Expect the staff up to full level?
I have no idea. I'll be talking with Senator Wellstone's staff, so I'll make that decision. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything rash. I mean, this is just a temporary appointment. I'm not going to destroy 30 people's lives that are working for the senator, so I'm going to be very respectful for the people working for Senator Wellstone. I'll see if whether or not I can squeeze one or two people in that might that I'm thinking about right now that I would love to advise me, but I'm not going to bring that. I haven't even talked to him yet.
Working with the senator-elect, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Senator, where were you when you heard the news? How did you prepare?
I was on my way out of my kitchen with my blue jeans and a sweatshirt on because I had a light schedule today, and Stephen Bosacker gave me a call and told me I better put on a suit. So I went back in and put on a suit, and here I am.
What time was that?
That was about 5 minutes to 9.
What are you going to do when you leave here?
Leave here? I'll probably go meet my wife and tell her the news, and I'll call my mother. She'd probably like to know this, and then figure out who I'm supposed to talk to be a U.S. Senator. So I haven't ever done this before, so I might go over and talk to Mr. Blodge at some of the Wellstone offices and start getting educated for my brief run as being a U.S. Senator, so I won't embarrass anyone. I'll do the state proud.
And is it safe to say that your vote probably will be different in upcoming months than what Senator Wellstone would have been?
Well, certainly was. Senator Wellstone and I agreed on a lot of things. We had a lot of agreement on campaign finance reform issues, political reform issues. A lot of things I don't agree with him. I liked his vote on the war. I would think I would have voted the same way. I used the same standard. Would I send my own child to fight in a war? I haven't been convinced that Bush has made that decision. Oh, that one's yours? Okay.
No credit for something I said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was the governor's.
That's my position.
And beyond that, I really don't know. I mean, you got to give me a little bit of slack here. That I've had a whole hour to figure this whole thing out.
You think these guys are going to give an independent slack? Right. Dream on. Dream on.
Fiscally, do you expect that you'll be voting more conservatively than what the Senator would vote on the budget?
Well, yes, I am more conservative fiscally than Senator Wellstone. I think I had his social libertarianism, but his fiscal conservatism, that's what moderates are. So I'm a little bit of Wellstone, a little bit of Rudy Boschwitz, if you want to call it, the last time I ran against the two. So I'm a combination of the two, and I'll vote one way in some issues that I agree with the senator, former Senator Wellstone, and some areas that I don't, I'll vote a different way. I'll vote the way I think is best for the state of Minnesota. It's that simple.
Governor, is there no hope that this will give Jim Moore a little bit of a boost?
It wasn't done in hopes of giving Jim Moore a boost. You people are making sure he doesn't. Thank you for opening the door. We're told that when we reach major party status, we're treated like a major party. So then we reach major party status and we're not. Then the bars change in the middle of the game. It'd be much like professional sports, where you start off playing the game and then halfway through the game the rules change. And you're not ready for those rule changes, and you, the media, accept it. You don't question it. You just simply go for the flow, because after all, let's look at history here for a moment, shall we? I vetoed the $8 million to digitalize public television. The Democrats and Republicans passed it. They felt that was more important than cover all kids with health insurance. Well, payback comes back in its strange ways, doesn't it? Because you're all a part of it too. You're bought and paid for by those two parties. The day before an election, you allow a candidate to come in who's only been a candidate for 1 week, and that candidate can set the criteria. That candidate can say who will debate, when.
As you can see, we're having some technical difficulties with that live news conference from Minnesota. You heard Governor Jesse Ventura name Dean Barkley interim replacement for the late Senator Paul Wellstone. Going on right now on our companion network, C-SPAN 2, it's the Minnesota Senate debate between former Vice President Walter Mondale and former St. Paul Mayor Norm Coleman. Again, that's live on C-SPAN 2. We're going to show you that debate in its entirety tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern here on C-SPAN.